Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, your host, ImperialDane, featuring today a 1 vs 1 on Langres. Yes, indeed, Langres, it shall be the place of the fighting between Puuu, fighting for the Americans, fighting for the 1st Infantry Division, some Smurf, though, clearly also due to the name, not really the most, well, sensible one. We'll just call him P. Opposing him shall be ImperialDane, that charming fellow, fighting for the Wehrmacht, fighting for the 17th SS, taking on the fight in this 1 vs 1. And we are seeing a 2 Pioneer start versus the 2 Engineer start from Mr. P of the 1st Infantry Division, marching out here, of course, both sides, sort of doing the same thing here. First unit out is the Volksgrenadier squad. For me, I prefer because, well, it's for me the most solid start. I mean, yes, you could go for the Schwimmwagen first, but that's not necessarily going to be the best start against an infantry unit. Usually that's what I want to sort of try and hold down. The MG42 can also sort of risk getting caught out in the open and thus quickly getting run off. A Volksgrenadier squad, on the other hand, is going to be a bit tougher to just run off unless you do something completely terrible, and it can usually also take on a few other sorts of things. So generally I prefer that to sort of start out with. We are seeing that Mr. P is spreading out towards the west, taking points there. Well, of course, I'm securing points there, and also note I'm actually sort of moving down here with my Pioneers. I prefer this because usually I find that, well, one Pioneer will always get stopped, but usually, I mean, if you sort of stick to the sort of edges, one will always be able to take a lot of territory without getting stopped. And also note here, he's actually setting up some barbed wire here. Usually, you know, it's the Wehrmacht who does that. In this case, it's the American command, of course, trying to sort of hold this, and of course, hold the strategic point towards this fuel point. Pioneers here coming under fire while the Volksgrenadiers are moving in to deal with the Engineers, quickly running them off. No kills, though, sadly. Pioneer down. Left groaning in pain as the riflemen see him off. Well, the last one off. Volksgrenadiers moving in. We are seeing a 2nd rifleman squad out already, about the same time as the Schwimmwagen, actually. Interestingly enough, we are seeing some riflemen moving in there. We might see some Volksgrenadiers soon, although I might, of course, be a bit too caught up to actually train the units at the proper times. There we go, riflemen moving in. Volksgrenadier squad on the way, but these Volksgrenadiers are actually caught out in a bad situation. They're caught on the move. This is pretty much, you know, generally the worst one, and you actually, with the riflemen there, I actually have to move them quite a bit far. And in this case, it would actually be better to just retreat them, but in this case, I'm not, because for some reason I'm convinced I can get them behind cover reasonably, you know, in good numbers. But there we go, 3 dead. That was an absolute waste of good Volksgrenadiers. Definitely no good. Now there's only the Schwimmwagen left to sort of try and contain them. We are seeing another Volksgrenadier squad again, but definitely a poor initial fight for me, and by me. There we go, Volksgrenadiers moving up. Of course, using the MG to sort of harass, do a bit of light damage. Moving up towards the cover. Schwimmwagen moving in to sort of flank, hit them from where there's no cover, push them out a bit. And of course, again, it's sort of like an LMG, so up close it's actually alright. There we go, 1 man down, 2 man down to 4 in fact. Schwimmwagen, though, is heavily damaged at the same time. Some additional fighting, we've seen some Pioneers. Volksgrenadiers trying to reinforce. MG42 might also be an idea soon. Although again, it's getting a bit delayed, so having need to reinforce. And there we go, charging in against the Volksgrenadiers behind. Heavy cover by the strategic point again. There's a lot of fighting for this point. Of course, he can end up cutting you off from a lot of resources. And of course, I'm determined to rather hold on to this. There we go, riflemen charging in. They're down to half health. Other Volksgrenadiers moving in. These chaps need to retreat. Rückzug, Männer. And there we do, 5 men, but they are rather low on health, and the Schwimmwagen is with a damaged engine. This is definitely not looking too good for that either. Still, we are holding on, fighting on. Schwimmwagen might soon be getting out of there, and they're going before to ready. Riflemen, in fact, retreat. Lighter skirmishing here. The engineers, in fact, forced away by the Pioneers. And there we go, the riflemen retreat once they see that schweres MG42. So I was able to turn the tide, though I definitely suffered the greater losses in these engagements, I fear. Though at the same time, his rifleman right here will be of less value due to the damage they've already taken, and thus actually rather early on I in fact forced Mr. P to actually get a tree ascender before he gets anything else. Otherwise, I mean, his rifleman won't be much good. And I mean, the trio center is important for the Americans because again, there's no other way for healing. And again, you can easily, if you don't ensure they're healed, they will quickly die, and thus you're quickly forced to spend out more manpower. And of course, more downtime with troops back at the base reinforcing. So that is something vital to remember. Point's being secured. Point here secured, attempting to mine. And I'm believing now he's in fact secured himself a mine sweep because he's of course worried that I will be getting mines. Also, good thing, you know, good players do, you know, they don't just wait until the first mine is stepped on. They actually go, I'd best prepare just in case that bastard gets some mines down. Going in here, of course, for the fuel point. And of course, the connecting point, Schwimmwagen leading the way. Thus ensuring I won't be running into any sort of nasty surprises. At the same time, we are seeing a large American force perhaps trying to hit up on the flank. Mines going down there, by the way, to protect this munitions point. Bit of harassment. Also a mine there in case he decides to actually go for the white flank towards this position. No, in this case I'm actually just going to pop them into the building. Points are being secured, munitions, and all other fun bits. Rather coming under fire from the LMG, actually suffering a bit. The thing is with the Schwimmwagen and the back for that matter is they're actually more accurate than the LMG-42 at range. Up close they're actually less accurate, so fun little facts there. But there we go. The MG-42 joining in, the more heavy and stable one. Volksgunners arriving as well. 3 squads all sort of in close connection with each other, while Mr. P is setting up for a sort of flank assault. Engineers moving down here. What could they be up to? Skirmish phase reached. Something going on in the barracks, and he's actually going for a medic station. Also note the position. It's close to any sort of front line, but at the same time it's not something you can just shoot at safely. If I want to get to this one, I actually have to sort of move in with this area, which is slightly more risky for me. In this case, I do believe I am spotting it, although I probably should be reacting a bit faster to it, rather than being, you know, as slow as I was right there. Volksgunners getting pushed away. Engineers suffering a bit. Riflemen moving up there. But they're in fact trying to move away again. Since now the medic station is in danger, the engineers managed to get away. Volksgunners holding up against the riflemen here. Riflemen moving in there, taking fire, Volksgunners firing away. And we are seeing a grenade. He has researched pineapple grenades. And of course I also quickly turn to sort of note any other positions. There we go, second grenade. Second one doesn't do as much, but still that's, I suppose that's 50 munitions gone for him. But of course now my entire sort of front line is largely collapsed. I only have a Schwimmwagen with heavy damage right here now. Volksgun squad and an MG-42, and he's got grenades and flamethrowers. This is definitely not a good situation for me. Riflemen here though are taking heavy damage again. They are low on health, but again more engineers. Riflemen moving in. Schwimmwagen down. MG-42 quickly absconding. So do the Volksgunners past the burning wreck of that poor unfortunate Schwimmwagen, of which the 17th SS did have some for their reconnaissance troops. We're largely relying on Schwimmwagens for transportation, I believe. In fact, mine goes off there, killing one bastard of a rifleman. As for the Volksgunners, of course, they could represent any sort of less than great 17th SS, but also apparently the 17th SS did have 2 Ost battalions attached to it, which were basically troops of volunteers, Russians or Georgians or whatever from Eastern Europe. Mines being swept there. Mines for engineers and pioneers. Oh dear, they're going down, both of them. Oh, tragic. Volksgunners are moving in, and we are seeing a grenade from the Grenadiers. Medics moving in to pick up the wounded already. Rifleman up, getting away from there, although at the same time he's going for the munitions point. Of course, he wants to ensure that I don't get a lot for Panzerjets, mines, Panzerfaust, all that sort of nasty business, or for that matter, flamethrowers or MP40s for myself. But now I do have some Grenadiers out. Another Pioneer squad on the way to replace the one lost. Going in for that medic station. I want to destroy it, of course, though it is quickly stopped. So not so much there. And some Grenadiers aren't doing too well here, getting grenaded, though they aren't completely wiped out, and that can actually happen with facing off against riflemen with pineapple grenades. Volksgunners leading the way. Again, not rushing the MG-42 too far ahead, but keeping it behind some infantry. And there we go, the infantry advancing has stopped. And here we go, we are seeing the rifle moving in for the flank. They are going to move in with a grenade. And whatever shall I do? I only have some depleted Volksgunners squads. And all he needs is to get close, but there we go. Inspired assault up, terror has been chosen. And his riflemen are suddenly taking a lot of damage, even from the MP40s of the support machine gunners. And there we go. The riflemen he just lost an entire rifleman squad, which rather leaves him with 3 now. And an engineer squad. So of course, the question is, will I be able to quickly sort of move ahead, or will I be sort of like, oh, he's got to have more waiting for me? And he's of course also quick to repair his medic station, while I'm actually being a bit too cautious here, which is a bit of a mistake. At the same time, salvaging the Schwimmwagen right there. German troops advancing. Pack on the way just in case. Rifle moving in. Volksgun's coming under fire. He is quick though to sort of recover and move in, but definitely losing a rifleman squad within the first 10 minutes is not necessarily good. Partly because it's a rifleman squad that's just lost him, because as an American, he's also rather dependent on earning his veterancy, and again, killing a squad in that way is rather more vital, but it's also more difficult for the Wehrmacht as such to kill off a rifleman squad, because I mean, you generally have to pour in a lot of fire, and they generally have a much better time of getting out there, and particularly with veterancy, they become much harder to actually even hit. So there are sort of things that help the Americans with that, but again, I mean, if you can kill them, you've certainly done yourself a huge favor as the Wehrmacht. But again, that's also sort of one of the ways, you know, the armies are different, which is fun. Grenadiers and some flamethrower pioneers, others moving about here. Perhaps some barbed wire here or here would be a nice idea, but again, I'm sort of cautious. Where should I react? What should I be expecting? Browning automatics up for Mr. P as well. Riflemen though are getting burned alive, taking huge casualties. And infantry has been chosen. He's also flooding quite a bit of manpower, which is not necessarily good either. So that of course is vital to remember. Though he is moving up here, of course, securing his part of the road, going for the central point. MG42 opening up, although much swifter and more harsh response will be needed. At the same time, sending out a bunker there to get my own medic bunker to sort of keep up my part of the attritional aspect. At the same time, having secured another MG42 to sort of clear up any flanks, hold down the Americans, then sort of try to make it a bit harder for them to move out with this rifleman, because I know with an MG with BARs and grenades, I mean, any rifleman sneaking through even a crack in my lines can be a huge problem. So I do get another MG42 to sort of try and contain that alongside, you know, my 3 Volksgrenadiers and Grenadiers. So of course, in that sense, actually, I believe I've actually got more infantry than he does at the moment, which is rather good for me to a certain extent. Although again, on a 1 versus 1 basis, I mean, the riflemen do hold the advantage for the moment. Mines going down. He's actually being rather cautious, laying up a lot of mines. Apparently also here. Might be worried that I might try to rush in. Not entirely sure why there. Oh well. Volksguns are moving in and quickly running into the rifleman. Another attempt at getting to the medic station did not work out.
Composition B is in.
And sticky bombs. I'm not entirely sure of this, but also note he's actually gone for a weapon support center when I've selected the building, of course, and getting a sniper. So he's actually sticking more to infantry. He's not trying to go for any sort of vehicles, but trying to go for snipers, of course, try to harass me with that, and of course put some manpower strain on me as well. Rather than advancing, of course, negative cover not working out when there's that many Volksgrenadiers. He's taking losses, though he's dropping up a grenade, killing 4 Volksgrenadiers outright. This is huge. Rifleman here, though, getting pinned by the MG42 on the western flank. Again, that was rather the plan, actually. Rifleman here getting stopped by the second MG42. Grenadiers moving in. 3 man still with a medic pack. They're also a bit more happy. Medic bunker up. Kampfkraft sent up, going to get some veterancy to actually sort of prepare my infantry a bit further. As I figured, at least with BARs and grenades, I should probably worry more about infantry for the time being, not so much about armor, and even then, I do have 1 pack which can sort of work as a temporary deterrent. But he reveals his hand quickly. He's gotten himself a sniper. Goddamn sniper. Which of course is the one thing I rather hate fighting against, but even then you actually have to sort of work on it. So of course I decide to probably get a sniper myself, although first a Schwimmwagen to sort of try and hunt it down and see if I can't deal with it that way, or at least have it to help the sniper spot the other bastard. Going for the point there. Few points secured. In fact, I mean, no, I've actually managed to secure most of the map by now. Partly again to the fact that I have more infantry, though he's got himself another rifleman squad. That is good. That is good. Some supplied upgrades would also be of help. He's actually getting a motor pool now. Interesting, interesting. He's definitely not got the fuel for a tank depot. Volksgun's getting pushed off. Sniper fire, other sorts of fun stuff. And an infantry force now with the MP40s as well, the Maschinenpistolen 40. Engineers getting suppressed. Schwimmwagen arriving. And a sniper on the way from there as well. Got several pioneers equipped with Flammenwerfer. And of course, veteran unit for my German infantry. Showing up there, flanking the rifle with one MP40 squad. Up close while the others and the Schwimmwagen actually arrived to sort of hit the other side. Folks going to take some losses, but there we go. Sniper joining in. Motor pool is up for a good friend of the 1st Infantry Division. Grenadiers and Pioneers lining up for an assault, though again the sniper and me not really having a response does pull me off a bit. But there we go, Schwimmwagen charges in and hits a mine. Bother.
Enemy unit down.
A heroic charge that ended up in a very less than heroic death.
I have everything but a target.
But definitely to his advantage. Sniping the medics, gunning them down. Oh, the horror. At the same time, I have this MG42 still holding up this part of the map, or at least trying to. Rather than advancing, getting shot down. Grenadiers getting sniped. Flamethrower Pioneers charging in. I am not 100% sure why I actually did this. And this is definite. I was perhaps trying to sort of rush in and surprise the sniper, but instead I'm ending up with a lot of dead Pioneers and lots of wasted flamethrowers. And had this been Company of 2, I mean, I might even have ended up handing over some flamethrowers to the opponent. So this was definitely a very bad move by me. I won't deny that. Engineers are advancing again, getting stopped by the MG42. And there we go, the German snipers ready. The Sniper König, Scharfschütze. Going to try and catch that American bastard. Will the MG42 be able to spot the ones advancing up the west? Nope.
We're losing a strategic sector.
But then again, the question is he actually aware of it? Yes, indeed. Again, we are seeing some nice attempts at harassing, of course, hitting up the flanks. He's not just going to charge down the center, although at the same time, he's sort of interested in sort of crushing my center, because that's where I'm going to be strongest. Anti-tank guns up. He's worrying a bit about armor. Mine going off there. Getting a few. Again, going in for that medic station as well. Might as well see if I can't get it. More mines. He's certainly worried about something charging in. Folks guys need to pull back. Grenadiers holding up the rifle here. Grenade and the rifle. Ooh, retreat in fact. Folks guys getting out of there. Sniper pulling back a bit. Yeah, seeing a bit of going on in the Reich headquarters. Probably going to be a... Ooh, moving up here. Grenadiers being hit a bit hard. MG42 is needed. Moving in. Grenadiers though are going to get washed off. Points are being secured. Medics moving in to pick up those wounded. And the riflemen are advancing. But generally the Ostbataljonen were sort of, you know, more of a... Well, a battalion unit essentially. They never really became a got about that. They were basically just sort of more independent battalions attached where it was needed to sort of provide manpower. In particular on the west front, since a lot of, you know, troops were needed on the eastern front, they were sort of being replaced that way. And there we go, counter snipe. The American sniper is dead. Hooray! And already there, my sniper will have earned himself in. Though of course now he's actually in a slightly threatened position as the rifle moving in from all sides. Definitely not good, and we are seeing artillery getting called in. We're also seeing a bit of manpower being flooded right there for Mr. P and the 1st Infantry Division. And there we go. Come on, retreat. There we go. Medics getting gunned down again. Grenades going off. There's some Grenadiers arrive as well. Trying to hunt down those riflemen. Those naughty, naughty riflemen. Riflemen stopped there by the MG42. Sturm Army on the way. But again, Ostbataillon, there were some larger divisions composed, you know, of Eastern Volunteers. There was one SS division. A few, in fact. Some were less than, well, good. And there was also the Russian Liberation Army, which generally didn't really amount to much. And basically, you know, deserted and tried to do a lot of other stuff by the end of the war. Artillery against the base, though. This is rather nasty. He's in fact trying to go here for the entrance, where I'm sort of trying to, you know, move out, catching some troops there. Sniper thankfully avoids it. In fact, I lose only one unit. This is, well, an extreme stroke of luck. I certainly won't deny that. Grenadiers though getting outgunned right there. Sturm Armory is up though. Riflemen and
I'm going out with my feet on the ground.
engineers moving up. All quiet, all sort of quiet. There we go, nice force. 2 Falcon squad, MG42. And he suddenly regained a lot of ground, you know, thanks to the sniper, but also the artillery, and of course me having a bit of trouble dealing with that sniper. But again, that sniper really can do a lot, because again with the Wehrmachts and their smaller squads, they can much quicker suddenly become combat ineffective. And they've got another advance. Engineers getting suppressed, trying to again stop that medic station, though I should quickly retreat. This is definitely not working out to my advantage. This could actually end up badly. Down to 2 men. Sniper out as well. And MP40 Volkswagen squad down, rifleman forced away. But we are seeing the first armored car is ready, the erste schwere Panzerspielwagen, of which the 17th SS did have a few platoons in their reconnaissance company. Semi-equipped like that of a Panzer division, though not quite to the same lavish extent, though. Certainly not with Panzer grenadiers in armored half-tracks. They would usually only have smaller vehicles for that purpose, but still, again, they were basically sort of a Panzer division light, if you will, just with more infantry as well. Anyways, engineer rifleman coming under fire here. Armored car doing quite well, although of course the rifleman can lightly damage. It's not really something you should expect a lot of. There we go, advancing up right in front of the Volksgrenadiers, and there we go, propaganda war. A bit too late though, so that's actually 100 munitions wasted, tragically. Another armored car ready though. I mean, I am of course seeing a lot of riflemen, a lot of engineers, and of course some snipers as well, so I'm figuring I probably need some armored cars to sort of quickly move about and try and deal with them. Of course, he's got the anti-tank gun ready, so he's also moving that up, of course.
Put some fear into him.
But I mean, in this sort of fight also with an artillery gun, I mean, I could have gone for the Stug, but I wasn't really confident in that. Of course, I might quickly get knocked out. Wasn't quite mobile enough for dealing with the sort of problems I had. Plus, of course, the armor car can much more swiftly shift from problem to problem. And there we go, Rifleman in fact taking heavy losses. And I'm not really getting much uses out of us now. Again, he was quick to get one. And there we go, though. Rifleman squad is down. See, Yankee sind tot. Got his advantage to secure that BAR American medic moving up. Second armored car getting repaired. And interesting enough, he's actually only got 1 anti-tank gun, which could actually be to my advantage. Of course, if I become aware of it, I can actually move in both my armored cars and sort of try and outflank it. Although, of course, he already has sticky bombs, so that's also something to remember. Grenadiers moving in. Volkswagen is caught a bit here. Sniper's still there. Got a full retreat now, but now I am, of course, aware of the anti-tank guns. I'm moving in my armored cars to sort of do a bit of damage. And in fact, in this case, I'm actually luring the anti-tank gun out a bit towards the east, allowing this one to move in. If, of course, I can get it moving. Also note, veterans you want for the armored cars, giving it, you know, a 25% damage decrease. Thus being a bit more nasty. Rather than getting stopped right there, of course, forgot about this bit, so they are quick to move in. Forcing away my MG42, and there we go. The armored car's on the way. While the other one is moving in as well. And there we go, he's actually turning the anti-tank gun even further, exposing it completely to my armored car. Although, very close hitting that mine, very close. And of course, his constant moving about of it is of course not really helping him. And of course, that is sort of the danger of an anti-tank, and it's not really good for any sort of mobile fighting. I mean, in this case, it's quickly getting outmaneuvered. Also, some minor engagement up here again, moving up on the flank, trying to harass me, but there we go. Anti-tank gun is dead now. There's only 2 riflemen squads, so the veteran is to increase range. Going to damage, or at least... Ooh, immobilized armored car, definitely not good, but these riflemen are definitely not in a good position either. More sticky bombs on the armored car. In fact, he could be going down. No, he makes it out of there. What luck. And the armored car, though, at the same time has a damaged engine, but of course it's still immobilized. So he's not going to move no matter what. Rangers being called in to try and knock out the armored car threat. Sniper nearby. Engineers getting caught there. A third armored car ready, figuring, you know, again, he's got lots of infantry. Might as well stop at the best. Main gun destroyed. Second one falls short. Pioneer moves up. Engineers getting forced away. And down. And a propaganda war saves the other armored car. Non-engagement up here. Grenadiers with BARs and some Volkswagen in support. And he's, I think he's actually going to He's going to go for some artillery against that armored car. He's going to try and knock it out. It certainly shows how desperate he is. Because again, I mean, his sort of, focus against killing infantry has left him in quite the bind. He's got nothing really except that one anti-tank, and now the Rangers, of course, they can really deal with my armored cars. Because they otherwise, well handled. They are simply too mobile, too swift for his troops to handle. The Rangers certainly have a chance, but again, the veterans won, and even then, the artillery does nothing. And this one still fires away. In fact, it's, forcing his Rangers to deal with it. Instead of the other ones, Volkswagen's holding up here by the building. MG42 as well. And again, he's recruiting the armor car. Oh, mine hit! All of a sudden, this is going very badly, very badly. I was tagging too large a concentration of infantry. Again, let's just briefly pause. The problem here was he was actually able to focus. The mine definitely helped as well. Rather denied me some of my mobility. And of course, the other one getting stopped down. So, in this case, this was a poor execution by me. This was me getting too eager, too greedy, and I got punished rightly. They've still done a lot of damage. But I've just lost all in all in short succession. 3 heavy armored cars, that's definitely something. Of course, and some of you might be wondering, well, why aren't you going for the Panzer Command? The thing is, I rather want something much more swiftly arriving. And getting a Panzer Command might send me back too far, which would give him more time to actually sort of counterattack and push me back, making it even harder or even possibly impossible to get back. So in that sense, I rather went for the armored cars since they were a rather more expedient solution. And also a bit faster than Panzer. MG42 crew escapes. Definitely looking a bit grim. And there we go, Grenadier squad finally put together. He's sent, I believe, actually got a few rifle squads also put together, though he's also suffering it. Rangers are arriving. Bunker coming under fire. Bazooka shots lining against it. And sniper joining in. The American snipers, in fact, far removed from the front line. He's in fact not kept up with anything. Veteran 2 for my infantry, by the way, making my grenadiers tougher. Not against artillery, though. Not against artillery. And he's using off-map, in fact. And again, note, this is why I place it behind buildings. The buildings actually absorb some of it. And that's a small advantage. Another armored car arrives. And of course, I'm not really keen on getting a Nebelwerfer either, because again, that's probably also going to risk getting a target. I'm not entirely confident with all the things that are going on that can actually keep it safe. So again, I'm relying on the much more speedy armored cars. Pioneer's getting sniped, though of course at the same time he reveals his own sniper. Anti-tank gun fires away. MG42 and Propaganda of course stops it. Anti-tank gun misses. Armored car's going to go and flank about. But 4 infantry squads again, and there we go. Anti-tank gun swiftly outmaneuvered. Rifleman moving in. Getting pelted with auto-cannon fire. And there we go, the anti-tank gun once more is decrewed. Sniper on the run. My own sniper not quite able to get him. 6 kills. Not the best sniper uses. Again, I'm not, the best sniper player. And generally, if I have to get them, it's to get the other bastard snipers. So, I won't deny that. But, it's pretty much the best method there is. Sadly. But again, in Company 2, no more of that. Of course, getting another armored car. Again, why not? Going so well. And again, with the anti-tank as well, they are going to be the slightly more necessary weapon. Because, of course, the armored cars with the mobility also sort of, probably frustrate him quite a bit. Grenadiers still holding up. 18 kills already. BARs and, of course, the mighty rifles. Rifleman charging in, suffering losses. A grenade here could do alright. Now we got all the grenadiers returned at them. Grenade. Rifleman taking losses. Grenadiers on the run. Bunker down, sadly. And again, recruiting it. He's quite keen on recruiting, of course. Rifleman here suffering to the other grenadiers. An LMG, by the way, might be an idea, but I'm lacking in munitions due to all those propaganda wars. And there we go. Armored cars arriving again. And again, his response to the armored cars is, basically just hope the anti-tank gun and the riflemen and rangers get them. But again, it's rather costing him a lot. He's losing a lot of infantry. He's lost several squads, in fact, already. 2 of them haven't seen that. Rather than moving up here though against one Volksgrenadier Venetian C2 squad. Armored cars in fact responding to this. And V1 rockets are in fact now ready as well. Figuring I'm going to get that artillery and knock it out for once and for all. Another anti-tank gun is ready. The other one is still out there. BAR left behind, but I've not been able to pick up. Artillery firing away, probably at the base. And a slight mismove right here. Sadly, they're still running right into the MG42, and it does stop them. Volksgrenadiers need to retreat though. And there we go. Fire up for the Rangers, but the MG42 is already on the run. And my sniper again, sort of casually forgotten, enjoying a break. Another bunker up. I was hoping for another medic bunker.
Are seizing territory from us. Ready for orders.
And quickly, Mr. P is advancing in the name of the 1st Infantry Division. His Rangers are exhausted. Veterans you won, though, they've actually been able to do quite a bit of damage. Grenadiers are there, though. 22 kills now. Rifleman pushed off and could in fact be losing a squad. No, he managed to get out there. Another, of course, the other sniper there. Not really managing much because of my sniper, of course. And there we go. Anti-tank gun crew getting sniped. Thus, actually saving my armored car from a horrific explodery death. And the Rangers are themselves getting now contained, of course, by the infantry. Certainly with all the attrition going on there, he's actually having a bit of difficulty concentrating his forces in larger points, which is certainly giving my minor concentration a bit better of a chance. Anti-tank gun, they're firing away, and oh dear, I'm forgetting to move it. Move it, Dane, please. Not helping that I'm floating resources at the moment either.
The Yankees are grabbing our territory.
Rifle moving in against the Grenadiers. No NMG for those. Again, though, at this moment, though, I'm saving up for a V1. Let's go have a look at Mr. P and the 1st Infantry Division. A bit of artillery. Right into the base. Ooh. Nasty rifleman moving in. Troops getting suppressed. Sniper opening up. But again, he's having some trouble, and again, I'm basically doing more damage than he does by knocking them out. And particularly the way I'm constantly forcing him to recruit his anti-tank guns. That is definitely not to his assistance. And plus, of course, the more mobile approach I've chosen, it actually makes it harder for him to use his artillery properly. Or effectively, I suppose. Armor car rolling in, and yeah, slight problem here. That V1 didn't actually get called in. I sort of realized that sort of halfway. I didn't. Oh, bollocks. And of course, I'm forced to run the armor car right past the Rangers. Right past the crate, of course, which makes it harder to move. Takes one shot, but it still managed to get it called in. And there we go. Rifleman holding up position there in the house. Armor car, Grenadiers, Volksgrenadiers moving in. Rifleman getting suppressed. Sniper opening up. And the sniper gets counter-sniped for this one. I mean, he might not have done the most, but he still ended up getting 2 snipers. V1 knocks out the artillery, though I thought I'd called in. Apparently they would have hit the barracks for some reason. Still. And his medic station is actually still standing. And he's also floating resources. I think he might be going for an off-map combat group at this stage, but it's certainly been the last thing he goes for. Anti-tank gun out of control.
Enemy unit down.
And there we go. Another anti-tank gun gone. He's got not a lot of units left. Riflemen, Rangers charging in. And he's getting a bit pushed back.
Never surrender.
And a Ranger getting sniped in the face. Another anti-tank gun recruit. And have thing.
Casualties being
Must
reported.
go. GG. In this case, it rather sounds like an excuse. You know, oh, my mother's calling. I have to take my piano lessons. I know it might not be, of course, but, you know, in this case, in the context, it certainly looks like that. I mean, I was rather beating up, of course, But there you go. I mean, the problem for him was rather, again, he'd sort of focused himself too much into the full infantry fight, and I rather managed to turn that against him by going for all those armored cars. I could perhaps have sneaked in one assault gun, perhaps with some veterancy, to sort of help. But again, with the artillery and the anti-tank guns, I wasn't too confident there, and thus I stuck with the armored cars, since they rather gave me the requisite mobility, but of course also the ability to basically just blast away at the infantry. The sniper was alright used. I mean, not my greatest success, but I did get 2 of his snipers, and overall probably limited the overall damage he did to my infantry. I didn't get so much out of my medic bunker, though he actually got a lot of his medic station. I think he probably got 2 to 3 rifle squads all in all, although we didn't see that. I was too caught up in all the other fighting going on, you know. I mean, there does tend to go on in these fights. But overall, I mean, I thought the fight was interesting. There were certainly some things to learn there. And, you know, generally the infantry did actually do alright, although of course I was forced to augment with armored cars to partly make it difficult for the snipers to deal with them, of course deal with all the other bits. So there you go. Do hope you enjoyed this game. If you did, why not subscribe and tell your friends, and if you didn't, well, why not send in a replay of your own. This is ImperialDane saying cheers.